Welcome back to the dentist because I have a 12 carat toothache. I've been listening to the new Post Malone album, 12 Carat Toothache, and I just watched the Fantano review and he gave it a 3 out of 10. And so we're doing another episode of Is This or That, and asking the age-old question, is this new Post Malone album a 3 out of 10? In his review, Fantano praised the music. He praised the lyrics of the album. He said that, he really respected how Post Malone was kind of exposing himself and exploring the darker sides of his life and the darker sides of fame and what celebrity has done to him, his relationship with alcohol on that one song, Love, Hate Letter to Alcohol with Fleet Foxes. But he said just the album sounds like trash. He really did try to boost up the lyrical content of the record, but he just said musically the thing sounds so bad that there's just way too much reverb. And my issues with the album are a little bit different. The instrumentals on the album are rarely outstanding. They're rarely super impressive, but I was pretty consistently enjoying the whole thing, from a musical perspective. The songs are kind of fun, just in terms of the beats. I was bobbing my head. I listened to this in a car ride, get to finish the entire album front to back. And I think musically, it's pretty enjoyable. The songs are kind of bops. Even some of the more popular ones, like Wrapped Around Your Finger or I Like You. I was just kind of going along with it. Some of the more dark and epic ones, like Love, Hate Letter to Alcohol and Reputation and Insane, I think also work pretty well musically. The biggest issue I would have with the music of the album is that some of it just sounds a little bit bland, a little bit generic, not very adventurous or bold or risky, which is an issue, especially on songs like I Cannot Be, which is so bland to me, and especially One Right Now, a song that should be a lot of fun. It's a good combination. You got The Weeknd, who's been on fire lately, just so good. Everything he touches has turned to gold. And then you have Post Malone, who's, good at making a bop, and it tries to be a bop, and it's just so bland to me that I just want to turn it off every time I hear it on the radio. My real issues with the album actually do lie in the lyrical content, as opposed to Fantano, who's entirely opposed to the musical side of the album. And honestly, I hate to say this, but some of the vocals on this thing, and some of the vocals I think are actually really good. Post's voice works really well, especially Reputation. That's kind of a banger of an opening track. Post Malone is going kind of hard on that thing. But then you get Lemon Tree. And it sounds like he's trying to almost do a country accent or whatever, but with his extremely heavily auto-tuned voice, and he's just straining his voice so hard, and it sounds bad. The song is not really listenable for me, just because I think the vocals are cringy. Speaking on the lyrics on the album, I really do enjoy it when Post Malone is getting into the darker subject matter with the lyrical content and really kind of being more honest and peeling back the layers. He's kind of briefly mentioned this in some of his other albums, like the darkness that comes with his success and celebrity, but he kind of dives into it on a few tracks. But then you have these songs that are just kind of party songs, kind of hype songs. Cooped Up is literally just a party song, and I think the lyrical content is so bland and so lame. And then I Like You and I Cannot Be, just lyrically, are just so, I want to say, just shallow, just artificial, insane. Even though it kind of is a cool sounding song, some of the lyrical content, as Fantano pointed out, is kind of cringe, and an otherwise kind of cool song is kind of marred by weak lyrics. There's very few songs on this album that I can say I legitimately like the entirety of the song. I just have so many issues with kind of, there's just a few songs here, either with some kind of bland instrumentation or forgettable instrumentation, or some pretty bad lyrics, or even awkward vocals. The only songs on here that I can just legitimately say, thumbs up, good song, front to back. Reputation, the opener, is pretty strong. It's a good opener. I mean, Wrapped Around Your Finger has fun music. I Like You also has fun music. Love Hate Letter to Alcohol. The Fleet Foxes contribution is pretty basic. Like, it's exactly what you'd expect from a contribution to them. But it's okay because it sounds epic. Like, the song sounds really cool. Euthanasia is actually a pretty solid track, one of the darkest on the album. And it just works pretty well. When I'm Alone is another highlight. And that's about it in terms of songs that I could see myself listening to again. The other stuff, I just going to briefly mention Waiting for a Miracle. It just doesn't do anything for me. It's just kind of boring. Yeah. Because I actually did have a somewhat enjoyable time listening to the album, I think it is extremely flawed. Whether it, the kind of bland music on a lot of it, kind of just whatever instrumentals, but in a lot of the songs, I think very serviceable instrumentals that work for their context. Of this is a extremely, this is a pop rap album. It's going to be, it's I wouldn't expect like super like experimental instrumentals and a lot of risks taken. So I think most of it is serviceable musically, but then lyrically, some of it is good, a lot of it isn't. Vocally, it can be a bit awkward, not just on Lemon Tree, but just on a couple of the songs in different ways. Lemon Tree is just the biggest offender in that. But I'm giving it a 5 out of 10 using Fantano's scale. It's a 5 for me. Maybe like a decent 5. Probably a decent 5 out of 10. And that's all I got for today. Thank you guys for watching the video. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. I'm curious, what are your thoughts on this album? Do you like Post Malone? I find myself an enjoyer of Post Malone songs. I would not call myself a Post Malone fan. I don't think I'll ever be a Post Malone fan. But I like some of the songs on the latest LP, Hollywood's Bleeding. I like some of the songs on Beer Bongs and Bentleys. I even like a little bit of Congratulations. So I'm a Post Malone song enjoyer, not really a Post Malone, fanboy. Thanks for watching the video. Have a great rest of your day.